Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Medina Oyedele, and as you can see, I have an amazing, bold personality with me today on the show. I can assure you it's not going to be an episode like any of the ones we've watched. She is amazing. I just passed her profile for a while. I'm like, no, she needs to come on the show. She has something that I need. And she has something that is going to be of benefit to everybody tuning in. As usual, Bold Conversations with Medina is a platform where ordinary people like you just come in and then they share their extraordinary journey. So today with me, I have powerful Ayomiko Odewale. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I
Yeah,
appreciate Thank you. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you very much.
I am honored. So I really like to start from a very comfortable point of view, which is how was growing up for you?
That's a long story.
Okay.
So growing up, let's see.
Yeah.
I think in general, I had a good childhood. So I'm the second of four. I always
Okay.
say I'm the middle child because I have an older sister and then me and then twins right
Mm.
after me. So a boy and a girl. So I'm pretty much the middle child. It
Okay.
was fine. I grew up in Ejigbo, Osun State, actually.
Whoa. Okay.
Yes,
We'll talk after.
yes, that's where I started. And I grew up, I was there till I would say 9. I'm not sure, maybe 9 or 10. I think
Yeah.
9. And then we moved to Oshobo, still in Osun State. And then I finished secondary school there. That's what most people know as high school. And then after then, my parents, so before I finished secondary school, I think I was in like SS1 or something. And then my dad got an opportunity in Benin, that's in Edo State. So he moved partly. So he would go there for a while and then come back home. He was doing half and half kind of. So by the time I was done with secondary school, then we moved with him. But I didn't stay there for that long because almost immediately I got admission to the University of Ibadan. Um, and then I moved, away from, and just once you move out of home to the university, that's it. You're not really at home anymore. But yeah, growing up was fine. In Nigeria, I don't know if viewers, if you grew up in Nigeria or if you're very familiar with Nigeria, it's very communal. There's just that communality. So like there are aunties all the time and uncles. I didn't have that many cousins actually. Um, Now though, it's either they're way older or way younger, like babies. So we didn't really have. I think that's one of the things I would say I miss in my childhood. I didn't really have cousins my age. But yeah, childhood was fine. It wasn't, all rosy. There were, struggles here and there, but it was pretty okay. I think I would say overall it was a good childhood.
Would you say that your childhood had anything to do with what you're currently doing?
Yes and no. Um, Yes, in terms of okay, let me start with no. No, because I would say directly, not really. I don't think I know anybody in my childhood or in my life that is
Yeah.
a life coach or a therapist.
Yeah.
So in that way, not really. But yes, in terms of I think what everyone did, there was just that thing. I noticed that about especially my dad.
Yeah.
They these aunties that'll come around, they were always asking for, hey, so I advise me on this one. And I'll just be there watching them like, why are you asking him? What if he doesn't know? I was just always curious. And my mom too, so there was always that. There was always those people that will come around for advice. Somebody will do something, they will go. I remember one incident. I mean, I can't share details, but I remember it was sometime in the evening, almost like maybe 7, 8 p.m. And my parents were just like, oh, we need to go. And I'm like, go away. So we're really little, so they couldn't leave us at home. My older sister was already, I think she was the only one that went to boarding school. So myself and my two younger ones, they just packed all of us, let's go. And we went to this small like apartment and we had some aunties living there. Apparently there was a fight, there were 4 of them. So there was a fight, they were, going back and forth. We heard the yelling, but they didn't let us in. So my parents had to go and mediate and all that. So in that way, again, I didn't know the full detail of what happened. But just some of those experiences shaped, I would say, who I am. So maybe not directly, but in those little ways it really helped. I started learning how to like speak to people and encourage and some of those things. Yeah.
Okay, so walk us through your journey. To helping people. You are a life coach, a therapist. What sparked your passion for this?
It didn't start at the same time. So therapy started first. I gave nursing a try. I thought I could do it. And after the first year, I'm like, this is absolutely not. The classes were fine, the professors were okay. They taught us, they did everything they could. I was just like, first of all, in the classes, I was bored all the time. Like, why are we here? What are we even doing? What is all this? I just couldn't. It was just too, and it wasn't like it was difficult. My mind just could not follow. I think that was the first time I experienced complete lack of interest in something. I am kind of the type of person that will give it a shot as much as possible. This one, the shot was not shotting at all. I did everything I could. So after that, I needed to sit back and think, what do I want to do with my life? I've always known I wanted to be in the helping profession. You asked earlier, how my childhood shaped this. So that was another thing I didn't mention. I grew up in a family of like medical professionals. So my dad was a doctor. He still practices a little bit. My mom's a nurse. My older sister is a nurse as well. So, and then we have uncles and aunties here and there, nurses. So somehow I just kind of knew I would be in the medical field or health, I would say healthcare. But medicine was just too long. And then nursing, I tried, it didn't work out. So I sat down and said, what do I want to do with my life? So I started research. I started just looking. So I saw social work and I'm wondering, what's this one again? So just reading through, I got fascinated by it. Now. I didn't know even the full extent. Like I didn't know how much you could do with social work. But I'm like, it sounds nice. It just sounds really good. That was how I entered. That's how I got into it and went through my master's program, and it was exactly what I expected, and even a little bit more. There are some aspects of it that I didn't know, and I'm grateful. I think I chose the right career. So that's how I got into therapy. Life coaching came a lot later. Honestly, it wasn't until I would say about 4 years ago was when I knew that okay, it's time to actually start this. But I didn't start fully until last year. Um, it was just a lot. So I was actually on maternity leave and taking care of baby, all that. And at some point, I was getting bored. So once baby is asleep, me too, I'm raised. I will now wake up and be looking like, okay, so how are we spending our day like this? So even though I was busy, maternity things, but on the other hand, I just felt like they had to be more. Everything cannot just be yes, therapy. I enjoy therapy. Like it's for me, it's like part of my identity. I just love doing it. But I knew there had to be more because therapy, in a way, it's a job. Even though it's a calling, it's also kind of a job. But I knew that God was calling me into more. So I just started praying about it, and some things started happening. Interestingly, it was just on social media. I'll just see someone's post and I'm like, hey, this person needs help. Like if this person can just have someone holding their hands, someone to talk them through this, someone to help them. And then once you read something and then you go back again, I don't know, is the algorithm, it starts showing you things like that. So that's how it started. And I'm like, wait, do people need help? And I saw that there was just this longing in my heart it seems like there's this yearning. This is what I need to be doing. So ultimately, there was day I was praying, and God gave me a scripture from First Thessalonians 5, I believe. I'm going to read it quickly. First Thessalonians 5:11. And it says, this is I think, New International Version. It says, therefore, encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you're already doing. And that just gave me exactly what I needed. So I'm like, okay, this is what I was talking about. This was what I was talking about, to hold someone's hands, walk them through. And then I like the last part, it says, just as in fact you're already doing. So I'm like, yeah, I'm already a therapist. I'm already doing that in my daily life. But this is now a calling, more than just a job, more than just a career. This is now a ministry for me. So that was how, the life coaching started. Yeah, for that part. Let's leave it there.
Lead me to my next question, which is, was there a defining moment where you realized that this was your calling?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that was, that was exactly what I was saying
Okay,
during that maternity
the
leave.
maternity leave. Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
And finding that scripture, just it nailed it.
Yeah, I think sometimes when God is calling us to something deeper, there is a way He just uses everything around us to speak to us.
Mhm.
And I guess that was post, that was the content, that was the person you saw, because definitely those people have been there. If you check some of those videos, you see that maybe it has even been posted like 3-4 years ago, but
Yes,
they
yes.
are just coming to the light because this is the point where you are and then you needed answers.
Interestingly, some of these posts, they are not even pages that I follow. They are just
Mm-hmm.
on your feed. You just a random, I'm scrolling and you
Mm,
see like, this is interesting. I'm reading the story. So
yeah.
even that way, yes.
Yeah, yeah. God is so powerful because He uses everything to speak to us to the point that you won't have any excuse at the end of the day that I use this, I use this, I use this to speak to you. You didn't
Mhm.
listen. All right. So this will lead me to my next question, which is how did your faith journey shape the way you approach therapy and coaching?
I can't take God out of anything. Anything that I do,
Yeah,
anything at all.
yeah.
From the beginning, even the story, I was sharing how I started nursing and then it didn't work out. And then honestly, I don't know that there was anything special that I did. It really was God's leading.
Mm,
Because before then, I had never heard of social work. I didn't even know something like that existed at all. So it was just from research. And I will always think back on it like, why did I find it? Why? It wasn't like I typed, give me suggest. No, I was just like master's program. I just give me everything you can. He gave me
mm,
IT, different things. I could have
mm.
easily gone into anything else.
Something else, yes.
Why was it that? So I I don't, there's no way, there's just no way I can say, oh, I did this on my own. It was God from the beginning. And even when life coaching started for me, same, like I said earlier, that was
Mm-hmm.
just God. That was just God all around. It was that inspiration. And interestingly, I started seeing, when AI, I think this is the good part of it. You say something, and the next thing you're scrolling on your phone, it will start
Yeah,
suggesting that.
yes.
So it was so good because then it started suggesting like life coaching classes. Like if you want to be a life coach, check this out. And I'm like, hey, let me check now. So I clicked on a couple. I'm like, this sounds nice, and that was how I started. I took a couple of classes, maybe about 2 or 3,
Mm,
just to, help with, I guess, the education part, the knowledge part, and
mm.
get a little, certified in life coaching because I didn't want to just be one of those people. I just wake up and me too, I'm a coach now.
I'm a life coach.
Yes, let's learn a little. Let's get certified. There's always a difference when you gain wisdom from other people, especially people who have been through it. And it was such a beautiful um class that I went through. So yeah, I'm still going through some right now, but yes, there's just no way to take God out of it. I think that was just orchestrated from the beginning. And
Mm,
even thinking back to like secondary school, high school, for some people, university time, I think I was always that person that someone would just be like, hey, I have this thing, what do you think? And I'm like, hey, why are you asking me? I don't know. I was that person that people would tend to come to, not
that's so true.
because I had the answer. I
Mm,
don't honestly, I don't even know why they would come to me
mm,
for questions, for answers, or for advice. It doesn't mean they took my advice all the time, but that
yeah.
for the most part, at least the fact that they came and then just knew, it's one of those things, our identities. There's something God has deposited inside of you.
Mm,
And the more you key into God, the more you own into Him, you will begin to discover those things. So
mm.
yeah, I can't take God out of this story at all.
Okay, I mean, it's like saying God is always in the equation, actually.
Yes,
He's
yes, yes.
always in the equation, or He is the equation.
He is honesty. He planned it from the beginning. I am the
He
one
is
that
the
is just now catching
equation.
up. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for that. I mean, at different point in time in life, I've always experienced that also, because most time we don't pay attention to indicators in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
These things have always been there.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those things that you now come to the realization of it has always been there. It's
Mhm.
just that we, just like you said, we need to catch up with what God is really doing. And that's the point where you now say, oh, I have a ha-ha moment.
Mhm.
But this thing has always been there. God
Yes.
is definitely not surprised about the discovery that he just made, but he definitely is happy that you finally found the path that he has designed for you.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Okay, so many of us struggle with identity crisis at different point in time. What was the first step someone can take to actually come out of that?
I will say, on again, there's no way to take God out of anything. So it's very important that you find God. Let's not even we see there's no way to sugarcoat it and say, okay, maybe honestly, there's no other way. First of all, find God, and everything else will follow.
Mhm.
But talking, saying more practical things, if it's possible, I think one of the things is even that self-awareness. It starts from there. A lot of things begin from our minds. So the moment you realize that, I was saying earlier that I started feeling there's so much more to me than just my job and just what I do. The moment you start that way, the moment you have that awareness and you can actually reflect on, I think there's more that I can do. There's more to me. Who am I? You start asking those questions. That's already the initial step. And then next, I would say, then reach out. Reach out to people who they could even they don't have to be. It doesn't have to be a life coach. It could just be people around you that you look up to. Someone, and you don't have to be close to them. It could be like if a distant mentor, maybe someone on Instagram that you've always watched, or some kind of social media, or someone you've just really appreciated how they do their things or who they are, how they carry themselves. Reach out to them. Ask questions. What else? And then if you have the opportunity or the privilege, then yeah, you can go into life coaching. You can actually have a coach that will hold your hands through. But yes, I believe that it begins from self-awareness. Who are you right now? When you begin to ask those questions, that's how it starts. But ultimately, don't take God for it. Thank God in good things.
Yeah, so there are points in time where we get in life and then we're just stuck.
Mm.
Sometimes the trajectory goes so fast, and sometimes you just get to that point where you're asking yourself, okay, so what next?
Yeah.
You wanted to probably do masters, you've done masters, then you say, okay, let me try PhD, and then you do PhD, and then you're still feeling that sense of I'm stuck. I feel like I'm not making any progress, despite the fact that you're actually making progress academically. But
Yeah.
I want you to talk to us about that. When you get to that point in life where you're stuck, what do you do?
The initial thing I would say is pause.
Yeah.
Pause. That's always a good time to pause. A lot of times we get into, okay, let me do the next thing. Like you mentioned, maybe you just finished high school and you're like, okay, let me go to college. You've done your university, you've had your degree, and the next thing, like, I feel so, okay, masters, and then you run into it. Okay, maybe I don't know, okay, PhD, and then you run into it. Maybe let me do some post. Pause. That is always the perfect time to pause. Sometimes when we feel stuck, it's our I don't want to say mind, but I guess mind. It's our mind's way of telling us, hold on, hold on. It is either time for the next level, or maybe you are beginning to derail from where you should be. So it's time to kind of pull yourself back on track. So pause, that's always the first step. The next step I would say is gratitude. Look back. Look back on how far you've come, how much you've done, how much you've achieved. Because a lot of times I've coached on some people who they think they are stuck because in their minds, I am supposed to have been in this place by now. I'm supposed to be doing this thing by now. And I'm like, says who? Who gave you this blueprint of by now at this stage, at this age that I am, this is what I should be doing? Hold on, look back first and be grateful for how far you've come. Because a lot of times when you actually look back, you would notice that the things that you think you are stuck on, you are actually just in process.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes being able to pause first and then look back and be grateful. Then once you are able to do that, most times in gratitude, that's when you find the next thing. So you're grateful for, I don't know, maybe, oh, finally I've done my master's. That's awesome. I'm so grateful. As you are grateful, then you begin to get inspired. Now you have more clarity because you are coming from a very, there's something gratitude does to you. It kind of cleans you out. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. It cleans you.
Yeah.
There's just this feeling. You feel light. You feel very it's like it clears the way. So now from a place of clarity and peace, then you can make decisions on, okay, what next? Where else do I see myself? Also in gratitude, you'll be able to figure out, how did I get here in the first place? So what led me here? Why am I here? What was the trajectory of my life? What did I think? Where did I think I was going when I got, that got me to this point? And then when you get there, then you can look forward. So first you pause, then you look back in gratitude, and then you look forward in hope. The moment you can say, okay, this is how far I've come now, and this is what I am trying to do. Maybe someone who, I don't know, maybe a college student that is just trying to, oh, in my future, I want to join NASA or something like that. I want to go to space. Okay. Now you have a goal that you're working on. You have a vision now. Then begin to write it down. The Bible says, write it down, make it plain. So write down those goals, make it plain. Begin to give yourself, some people even go as far as making a vision board.
Yeah.
They'll think, this is what I want to see, this is how, and then you can actually start working towards those things. Again, if you want, you can get like a coach in that field. Or if it's not a field, if it's not, if it's not something in terms of your career, maybe just life in general, you can get a coach that can walk you through and then hold your hand, because you need accountability as you go on. Again, it doesn't have to be a coach, it can be one of your friends. That one that is very honest, but also kind. That will deal with you in kind, or that they will cane you. Need to. Or it could be your parents, your siblings, just someone that you can trust. You know that if I put my vision in the hands of this person, they can walk me through. No judgment, but also they will hold me accountable and be honest. They will call me out and flog me when I need to. So find someone who can hold your hand through. And then over time, you'll be slowly able to. So I'll reiterate and say that: pause, look back in gratitude, and look forward in hope. Those three things.
Wow. People have shared their journey with others, in low moments, and then later in life, those informations have become like the talk of town or something they're even using against them. So some people are very ashamed to seek therapy or even talk to someone. What would you say?
They are not wrong. That's the truth. They are not wrong at all. Yeah, we've had experiences like that. Personally, even I have had experiences like that where, maybe a trusted friend, you feel like, oh, we're friends, we can trust each other, and you tell them things. Next minute, you hear you're talking town.
Let us pray for sister.
Exactly. And sometimes I don't know, I'm not trying to excuse that behavior, but some people genuinely, they think they're trying to help. So they will carry your matter to their group. Oh, this happened. Let us pray for. In a bit to pray for, they will pray, yes, but from there it will now turn to, hey, so what now happen next? Hey, so that one too. And the next week they will bring more gist. And then before you know it is now gist. So yes, well, some people definitely have ill intentions. Some people don't, but unfortunately they don't know how to manage, those kind of things. So yes, people who feel shame for therapy or coaching, you are not wrong for feeling that way. Maybe you've had experiences, or maybe someone else's experiences. However, just like anything in life, we always have to give it a try again. Give it a try. Check that person out. So for example, if you want to come to me, look at testimonials, ask around. What do you think? Maybe someone that who has come to me before, or someone who has, maybe not even me, but who has been maybe in therapy before, who has a coach currently. You can ask them, tell me about your coaching. What is it like? And also remember, professionals are different from your friends. Your friends, they owe you loyalty, but nothing is holding them
accountable.
Yes, there's no consequence if they tell your matter to the whole world. But a professional can't do that. Have we had situations where people did that? Yes, but they should be held accountable. People have had licenses revoked for breaking confidentiality. So it's a thing. It's definitely a thing. So in the first place, I'll say you are not wrong. And I empathize with anyone who has experienced that. It's sad and it's wrong. You shouldn't tell your secret to someone or a vision to someone, and the next thing you know, it's in public. We laugh about it now, but when people are going through it, it's not funny. It's not funny
Yes,
at
it's
all.
not funny.
It's not funny. But there's no other way to know or to get help other than when you try. But make sure you seek through professionals
Mm.
who can be held accountable that way. Yeah.
So are there practical steps that you can share with us that the audience can just speak and use to actually come out of identity crisis? Really?
Yes. So it also depends, I would say, on where you are. Each person, we're on different levels. But I will go back to the 3 points that I mentioned. It's always important at every stage in life to take a pause. Always. Always take time to reflect. So people, you can even do something as simple as journaling. Some people at the end of the week, some people do it daily. If you can't commit to that, maybe at the end of the week. Some people even at the end of the month, they look back and say, okay, it's time to pause and you just have a day for reflection. What has this month looked like for me? Or what has the week looked like? What have I done? What have I achieved? Um, what am I missing? Or where do I feel stuck? And so on. So write things down. It's very important. I always enjoy writing things down because everything is not jumbled in your brain. So it's nice to keep it out, put it out. And then sometimes you remember something, you can quickly write it down because there's the tendency you forget if you just keep it in your head. So write things down, it's always very important. So journaling, I would say that's one of the things.
Yeah.
Another thing is you can't take away the place of gratitude, to be very honest. Again, I would say a lot of times people feel stuck because of an expectation that they have. Oh, this is where I should be. This is what I should be doing. I counseled someone that said she kept saying, by now I should be, by now I should be. And I'm like, wait, oh, you keep saying by now. By now, what do you mean by now? What is it about now? What? And she was like, well, my mates are doing this. So you and your mate, you were born together, or you've had the same life experiences. And this is someone who has been through a lot. Have experienced so much trauma, have experienced so much just hurt in their lives. So I'm saying we have to pause and look back and say, see, the fact that you're even here at this point, it's a miracle. Because everything you've been through, if even me that I'm talking to you, if I've been through that, I don't know where I would be. So for you to even be here, you've pulled through so much. All these your other friends that you're talking about, they've not been through half of what you've been through. Some of them are also from privilege. So they didn't have to, I'm not, we're not undermining anybody's hard work, but they've not had to work as hard as you have. They've had things, some people have had things handed to them. Some people maybe not even handed to them, but they've had opportunities along the way. You have not. It's like, everybody, there's a start line. You are starting from back to now walk your way. Some people started from here. Some people even started from like in front. So you are having to start from a far place. So the fact that you are here is a miracle. So yes, gratitude always. There's the way it just opens up your mind to things. It opens your mind. Another thing I would say is don't neglect good association. The people that surround you, either as friends. Now you can't choose your family. You're in it. Choose your friends. You can choose the association. You can choose the people you hang
Surround
around.
yourself.
Yes. You can choose the people you follow on social media. Not because they are bad, but they might not be good for you. There's something, people can be good but not good for you. There's a difference.
Yes.
So be careful of all those things, your association, what you feed yourself. A lot of people are in crisis. I've had situation, God. I've had situation where I'm like, where did you get this idea? This idea that you have, well, that's just what is the trend. So our lives are now going by trend. Just so many things. And you're just wowed, like, in fact. So you can see a lot of times people are in crisis that they don't need to be in. Like this crisis now that you're in, you don't need to, like, it's not, no, you just don't need to. It's really shocking. So yes, be careful of who you surround yourself with. Audit your association all the time. Every week, every year, every 5 years, whatever time you choose, audit your association. What else do I want to say? And then always, stay hopeful. There's no, I don't know that there's anybody's life that is just rosy all the time. there's things that will happen, see different
Forget
situations.
what you see on social media. It's all glam.
That
It's
one.
all glam. It's all glam.
You can be crying now. They are will just
Yeah.
wipe face, put makeup on, and they post it.
Forget
So,
what you see on social media, baby.
and in these days of AI, people can put a nice background. You're like, oh my goodness, they're on vacation. It's a lie. It's a bit like they're on their bed crying. They are crying. So please forget all that. Yes, and look
Yeah.
forward in hope. Look forward in hope all the time. So yeah, if for anybody who wants like quick, always journal, always be grateful, audit your association, but
Yeah.
always also be hopeful.
Yeah.
The moment hopelessness sets in, that's where depression comes, anxiety, all those other things will start.
Mhm.
Always be hopeful. Again, it doesn't mean that everything is happy all the time, but stay
Yeah.
hopeful.
Mm. I mean, you've shared that, just that is the goal. Like, those are like the golden rules. And I would also like to add that you need to learn to say no. I
Yes,
learned to say no, and my life has
boundaries,
never remained the same. I'll say
boundaries.
the no without feeling guilty, because typically I help people a lot. I'm that kind of person that you tell me you have something and I can empty what I have and
I
or
can tell.
just go extra mile to make sure that you're okay. But baby girl, I learned to say no in
Mhm.
a very painful way.
Yeah.
And now I say my no and I don't feel guilty about it. If I
Mhm.
can help, I will help. Like
Yes.
Pastor Sam Adeyemi will say, you are not El Shaddai. If not, you will soon die.
Like,
So
I remember when
I,
I saw that thing, it was
yeah,
hilarious. Yes.
that is it. So thank you so much for sharing those golden nuggets, really, because they are practical even for me. And hearing you speak sounds like it's been a bed of roses. Hmm. What has been the challenges so far?
um, I think one of the things I experienced. So if you are from Nigeria, let me say Nigeria. And first of all, being a female in this
Yeah.
life, there's already so many things against you. Again, when I said there's a start line, you are starting from like back. So
Mm-hmm.
you first have to walk your way to the start line, and before you actually then start. So all the time, there's always something working against you. So
Mm-hmm.
first, female, there's that, and honestly, men too. There are things working against everyone, and then your background. There's just always a thing. I was saying that I grew up in Ejibo, Shogbo, all this is their villages. I would
Do you
say
speak French? Because I know they speak a lot of French in the show.
they do, but I don't. That's one of the things. Honestly, if I'm being honest, that's one of maybe a little regrets that I have because I had the opportunity. I didn't pay
Uh,
attention. I was always playing. I don't know, and I had really good opportunity, but
yeah.
sometimes. So some of the challenges I would say is background.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many times there's that feeling of I don't think I can do this. Who will listen to me? Sometimes you want to speak to a certain audience. And I'm like, may I have I said, the way I talk, I don't have all this shrink.
I ain't gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah, I know about that too. My Nigerian English, my Nigerian the way we pronounce it. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of times you just feel like I don't think I can do this. And
Mm-hmm.
when I started therapy, also being in the United States, there are different things. I remember I'll share an experience. Someone said, and this was also during COVID. So we were doing virtual a lot because obviously no one could meet in
Mm-hmm.
person. And this person said, oh, I don't think I can understand your English. Please connect me with someone that I can speak to.
And you feel like, am I speaking German?
I don't understand. This same English that I'm speaking like this. So first of all, how do you even know what I'm saying? If you can't understand what my that the people I work for, they took care of that and that was fine. But
Yeah.
those are some of the challenges generally we would face, but I have
Mm.
personally faced. So background, I think, was always for then there's always that imposter syndrome. Like when
Am
I
I good
think about
enough?
life coaches and
Mm-hmm.
therapists, I'm always like, all these big people and people who have worked for so long, some of them in their 40s, 50s, 60s. And I'm like, what do I know that I want to even tell somebody? So if someone comes in front, sometimes I'm in front of mirror and I'm saying, so if someone asks me this question, how will I answer? I don't know. I have no idea. But somehow, I guess it has worked out.
Yeah.
But, so imposter syndrome, that's always one for me.
Mm.
I'm still trying to work through that. And sometimes little bits of anxiety.
Mm.
Like, you know that, okay, I'm meeting this person, your chest is doing kim, like this. But I always say they will not bite me. Why? Me, I'm not biting them. So they too, what will happen? We will all
Yeah.
be fine together.
Mhm.
So over time, I've started learning. It's okay to say, I don't know the answer to that. It's
Mm.
okay to say, I'm not sure. Let me get back to you on that.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's okay to say no sometimes. Like, I have
Mm.
no, let's figure it out together. At the beginning, those were some of the challenges. I always wanted to answer. I always wanted to tell people, oh, yeah, this is what you should do. I learned very quickly that I didn't know what to do a lot of time. It's very important to just meet people where they are. So,
Yeah.
uh, like I say, so background, imposter syndrome, sometimes anxieties. And sometimes when moving from Nigeria to the United States, that was another big challenge.
Shock.
Yes, I moved away from what I've known, the
Yeah.
interactions, all those our Niger banter. And I'm here like, first of all, I don't even understand the joke. Like, why is everybody laughing? What was happening? When I'm thinking something, I'm saying some of the things they will make reference to. I'm like, sorry, we didn't have this kind of things. I can't relate. But over
Yeah.
time, with an open mind, keeping an open mind, and then interacting with people more,
Yeah.
overcoming that. And then those are just like professional things. They're also like personal, life things. Let's see, what are some of the challenges? It took me, my husband and I, 4 years. We were trying for 4 years before we had our first child. So there was also that challenge. I'm coming from an African setting.
Where they will be watching your womb.
Yes, they're quick. Hello, I just said I should check on you. How far? And I'm like, how far what? Where are we going? Where far? What happened?
We are fine now.
Everybody's far. That was a challenge on its own. So many things. I have two daughters. I know there was also that like you people will not give birth to a
They are
boy.
looking for a
There-
boy.
There's also that me, I'm not looking. I am absolutely not looking. But people are looking for you. Like
They
if
are
you
looking for the boy on your
try
behalf.
one more, if you just try one more, you will see to even be a boy. And I'm like, I didn't tell you I'm looking. I'm not looking. So those are some of just life challenges in general. Uh,
Yeah. And then
that
you're asking yourself, these girls that I have, are they not children?
me, am I not a girl? Are you people not appreciating me as I am like this? What is it? So,
So
yeah.
I think that will lead me to my next question, which is how do you balance family, life, work, studies, and everything in between?
Support system are
Yeah.
good. Again, God wants to show up in everything. Everything. Sometimes I've asked myself, I don't know how. I
Mm.
don't know how. I worked until 5 days before I had my baby. Yes, 5 days. My first child, I worked 2 days until. I'm like,
Mm.
God, you see this work because I don't know. I guess that's my sometimes I too do. I too do sometimes. I'm like,
Yes, it is.
yes, I want to work till this time because I have this thing to do. I want to make sure I see this person because once I go on leave, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I want to see this person. I want to, and God just really worked with me, I guess, and I was able to. So yes, it's difficult. It was difficult, but
Mm.
system. That was another thing. I'm grateful for my husband. He's such an amazing person. And
Uh,
yes, he supported me too. Even now, he's holding the kids together. I've locked myself in some room. He has held them down with some things, but they won't bother me.
yeah.
So yes, support system. That's you can't take away that at all. We all need support. But what I do practically is when I'm at work, I'm at work.
Mm.
Fully immerse myself in work.
Mm.
But you see, once I leave, you cannot get me back. I am gone. Someone was asking me the other day, like, oh, let me message you on Teams. I'm like, I won't see it. She was like, how? I don't have Teams on my phone. So work email, Teams, all those kind of, I don't have it on my phone. So until once I close my laptop, I'm gone. No, you cannot catch me until it's time for work again. So setting those boundaries, it's important because when I'm at work, I am fully immersed. When I'm home, it's home time.
Mm.
My drive home, so when I work in the office, my drive between home and work is about 20-25 minutes. That's my me time. So I'm off work. I'm also not home yet. That's the time I breathe. do my thing. Sometimes I'm listening to like a quick song just to kind of help me, so sometimes I'm praying through. And then once I get home, because I have a toddler, as you open the door like this is work. Once you open the door, you've started play. We'll start playing from the door till everybody falls. So I immerse fully in home things. And yes, my husband and I will just support one another like that. When someone's busy, we always also try as much as possible to make plans, the things we can plan for. Like today now, I've been saying it up to yesterday. I'm like, don't forget tomorrow I'm busy. So everything he had to do, he did them up until yesterday. And then there was something he had to do early this morning. He woke up quickly to do it because so everybody, it's balancing. Yes.
Wow. I feel strongly you have some strong family values. What are those?
One is our faith, always. That's always. I think so there's this boss. I have an imaginary boss in my, or like what people call van. And in the driver's seat, I say this is what drives our family. In the driver's seat is our faith. That's what is driving us all the time. Now, along with it are some of the things. One would be excellence. In everything that we do, make sure you put in the work. Put your best. You always put your best foot forward. Even if, we're talking before we start rolling that, sometimes you put something online, it's like half like, not even one full like.
No like.
Or no like, no comment.
Or you come back and like it yourself.
I like it, exactly. But even in that, always put your best foot forward. Always. So excellence is one of the things. Another thing is, I call it royalty. And I use royalty because in the way we appear, so our dressing, the way we speak graciously. I call that, if you're familiar with royalty, I mean, being from Nigeria, we know how royal people, first of all, once you see them, you can tell. There's something about them, not because they have any special thing or they are better than other people, but in their appearance, you can tell this is royalty because they put their hair thing, they have the staff and all that. Now, we're not necessarily wearing that, but even just our daily outfits, just simple things like that, you appear royal. You dress well, you dress decently, modestly. You dress in a way that if someone sees you, they want to hear you out. They want to listen to you. That's one. Then the way we speak. When someone from like the royal household, I mean, I'm not saying they're perfect, but there's a way they speak with grace. They don't rush everything. They take their time. They speak to people kindly. At least that's the expectation. They speak to people kindly. And then in their association, they don't appear just anywhere. Again, not because they are better than everybody, but just their position is a thing of position. So in their position, they're not just anywhere. You can't find them just any and everywhere. So that's also one of our values. And so many other, loyalty, honesty, that's very important. I really believe, just say the truth, or you can get you in trouble, but say the truth. Just be honest. Let's know what we're dealing with. Be relational, be graceful. No bad words, all those little things, especially now that we have children. So yes,
I think over time, when you're honest, it's just a matter of time before people begin to see it like a virtue and they say, no, if you need the truth about this issue, just call Ayomikun. She's not going to mix our words. And it takes time, just like you said, but eventually it pays off because people believe you and they trust you more with bigger things.
Yes.
I would like to ask, where do you see the unhidden self in the next few years?
God on my side.
Maybe you even talk to us briefly about your unhidden self.
Okay, so the unhidden self.
In the next few years.
Okay, it's my life coaching platform on Instagram. Right now, we're just on Instagram. Okay. A little bit on LinkedIn, but it's not named the unhidden self on LinkedIn. It's just under my own personal name. But right now we're just on Instagram, and that's where I put life coaching tips, little things that people can do here and there. So yes, please follow us at the unhidden self on Instagram and Ayomikun Ajani on LinkedIn. It started from, I was saying how God had been leading me through up until now into life coaching. Early this year was actually when we started. Actually, it was on my birthday this year, April. That was when.
Don't tell me it's April 16, please.
Yes, April 16th. That's my birthday.
Oh,
Happy birthday,
hey,
mate.
I see why I was like, I need to talk to you. That's my son's birthday. That is my
Oh,
son's birthday.
first of all, April people are special. There's just something about them.
Oh,
It's crazy.
now here they go.
Oh, that is so sweet. That
No
is so
wonder. I don't
yeah,
cling to people randomly.
yeah.
I don't.
Oh, that is so
I
sweet. That is really sweet. Yes, April 16th children specifically. It was special. So
Oh,
it was on my birthday this year. I think about 2 weeks before my birthday. I told myself I was supposed to have started this thing, but in my mind, I'm like, again, sometimes when something is a core value, you can overdo it. So how I was talking about excellence. I'm like, no, for me to
yeah.
start, I need to build a website, create all these things. I just sat down and told myself, why are you deceiving yourself like this? Who sent you work? Just start first. It was something you said at the beginning. Start where you are. Start first. Over time, you can now start building all these things and growing.
Yeah.
Start. So about 2 weeks to my birthday, was the beginning of April. I said, you know what? I'll use my birthday to launch the platform on Instagram. So I just need to prepare. So I gave myself 2 weeks to prepare what I want to do, get some pictures here and there, posts and all. And April 16th of this year, so 2025, was when I launched the first post on the Unhidden Self. So that's the name of the coaching platform. And now that's still growing. We're still very new. It's only been May, June, July, August, September. So it's only been about roughly 5 months now that we started. Not even fully 5 months
Yes,
yet.
as at the time of watching this video, 2025. So you
Yes.
might be watching this video in the next 30, 40 years.
Yes. This is
That
2025
means,
September. It's only been about roughly 5 months.
okay.
So that's it's just been so the Unhidden Self. I am hoping by God's grace that it will be a coaching platform where people can just come to and pick up ideas, pick up tips, even without necessarily signing up for like a coaching class or anything, but a place where they can come to and know that when I'm here, I can find something for my life, even if it's one thing, even if it's just a line. The goal is to reach as many people and help people walk and uncover who they are. We were saying earlier that it's always inside of you. That thing is always there. Your identity, it's been orchestrated from the beginning. But sometimes, the weight of expectation, the roles that we feel, yeah, sometimes trauma and different things that people go through, it kind of masks, who we are. And then we start living just for survival. But the goal is that we're able to hold people's hands and walk them through uncovering the identity. Um, the goal also over time is to have classes, coaching classes where people can come in groups or as individuals or even companies, corporations can have,
Engage your services.
engage and use. But even now, we're already doing that. Individuals, families, you can come as a family, you can come as groups, you can come individually. Yeah, so in the next few years, we're just trusting God that we'll be there. Hopefully, we'll also have like little not necessarily a book. I don't, now that I say it, I don't necessarily see myself writing a book, to be very
Yeah,
honest. But
don't
maybe just
worry.
to tip, I don't know, something
Like
that can be handed out
pamphlet.
to people,
Yeah.
yes. To and maybe one day we'll be like you and join you. But for now, it is not in vision.
What do you mean?
It is not. It will be living vicariously through you for YouTube.
Oh boy. Okay, thank you so much. This conversation is tag bold conversation. So what does boldness mean to you?
I just had a conversation yesterday where I was telling someone that there's a lady I always look up to. Her name is Dr. Eden Onwuka. That woman, I call her audacious. She has audacity. You know how some people, their own is, you can't even really say boldness. It's no longer of this audacity. And I think that's you showing up exactly as who you are, how God has created you, with grace, of course, with grace. And yeah, so showing up as who you are, showing up graciously, being bold enough to set boundaries, be able to say no and be able to say yes to some things, but also walking in the fullness of your identity, walking in the fullness of who you are. Yeah, that honesty will be boldness. Doesn't I don't think boldness is being able to talk. You know, a lot of you can talk, but beneath that, there's just so much going on. So I would say boldness is you showing up as your true, authentic self in the fullness of who you are in your identity. Yes,
Wow. Thank you so much. I like this question I want to ask you. What would you tell your younger self?
be bold.
Ah,
How would
okay.
I tell my younger self?
Yeah.
You know, my younger self, I would say that you are doing well. You are doing well. There are some things, don't do those things. Don't, there are some things you did, don't do it. But I would say that you are doing well. I would also say that find God early. Find God earlier than you did, or
Mm,
find God earlier than you have now, whatever. Um, but be true to yourself. It says to thyself be true. So be true to yourself. Have good friends. Have good friends. Set healthy boundaries. There's some things.
uh,
Yes, set boundaries. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for being with us. I wanted to say for having us. Thank you so much for
Thank you for having us.
thank you
Bye.
so much for joining on this conversation today. How do we connect with you across your social media platforms?
Okay, so we're only on Instagram and LinkedIn. So on Instagram, it's at the unhidden self, at the unhidden self on Instagram, and then on LinkedIn, it's Ayomikun Ajani on LinkedIn. So yeah, those are the two platforms now.
Okay, thank you so much. It's been a great privilege having you around. And I can say that I really enjoyed myself. I always like to go back to my episodes and watch them, not like a presenter, but as an audience, because I guess there were so many things that I missed while we were having this conversation. It's a
Mm.
great privilege having you around. Thank you so much for coming today and
Thank you.
bye. So, to our audience, I would like to say thank you so much for tuning in today. It's a great privilege hosting Coach Ayomiku. I would, I will not allow you to remove the coach from it.
That's fine.
So, till I bring another board conversation episode for you again, stay tuned. For now, my name is Medina Oyedele. Bye.